Ladies and gentlemen, this is your main event of the evening. 10 2-minute rounds for the IBF and WBC Unified Welterweight Championships of the World. Promoted by Ben Shalom and Boxer, it is brought to you live worldwide on Sky Sports and NBC's Peacock by our official partner, Betfred, Hell Energy, That Prize Guy, and Riyadh Season. Our supervisor, Debbie Down and Massimiliano Bianco. Our steward in charge, Suzanne Potts. And our timekeeper, Gary Grennan. Our judges at ringside, Zivanko Rukavina, Marco Marzuoli, and Mark Lyson. And our referee in charge when the bell rings, Victor Laughlin. So, to those of you joining us around the world, and to those of you joining us right here live in Liverpool, are you ready to make history? And let's meet the fighters. First, the champion fighting out of the red corner, wearing the white and multicolored trunks. She stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. She weighed in at 10 stone, 6 pounds. She holds a professional record of 15 victories versus 2 defeats and 1 draw, with 9 of those wins coming by way of knockout. And she fights out of right here in Liverpool, England. Introducing the former unified super welterweight champion of the world. And tonight, she is the current reigning, defending IBF welterweight champion of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, she is Miss GB Natasha Jonas. And now her opponent, the other champion, fighting out of the blue corner. Wearing the white trunks with red trim, she stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. She weighed in at 10 stone, 6 pounds. She holds a professional record of 24 victories versus 5 defeats, with 7 of those wins coming by way of knockout. And she fights out of Zlatar, Croatia. Introducing the former IBO world champion, the former IBF world champion, and the current WBA interim champion of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, she is the current reigning, defending WBC welterweight champion of the world, Ivana Habazin. Once again, our referee in charge tonight, Victor Laughlin.
So Victor Laughlin brings both boxers to center ring for the final instructions. Tardy arrival from Habazin.
Okay, ladies, you've had your instructions. Remember, obey my commands at all time. Defend yourselves at all time. God bless. Touch gloves.
A reluctant touch of gloves concludes that impassive stare down between these two world champions. Over in the red corner on the far side of the ring, Joe Gallagher out of the champs camp in Manchester shares a warm embrace with Natasha Jonas. All seconds of and extras have now left the ring, leaving just the champions and the referee in the roped arena. For perhaps the final time in her professional career, Natasha Jonas answers the opening bell in her home city of Liverpool as she faces off in this unification bid against the fellow world champion, Natasha Jonas, the reigning IBF welterweight champion, squaring off against Ivana Habazin from Croatia, who is the reigning WBC champion. Natasha Jonas fighting out of that familiar southpaw stance, wearing white trunks that are trimmed with multicolored decals and black tassels. And her opponent operating out of the orthodox stance, Habazin wearing the white trunks trimmed in the distinctive red and white checks of the Croatian flag. She's operating out of the orthodox stance. She reaches for a left jab to the body. Both boxers identical in terms of stature from the tail of the tape. Good, strong left cross to the body, just above the belt line. from Jonas, but then going on a forward foray is Habazin, and she did get through with a long looping left as she backed Jonas over to the far side of the ring. Jonas cleverly turned the tables, and while Habazin was on the rope, she caught her with a left hand cluster of punches to the body, ending it with a left hook to the body just beneath the floating rib of Habazin. It's Natasha Jonas peering between gloves that are held high, her elbows are rather splayed, and now trying to distract her opponent with a weaving left hand. Being waved like a wand is Habazin. She's near the neutral corner on this near side of the ring, feints to throw a shot but doesn't let her hands go. Natasha Jonas, remaining disciplined, takes a good right cross to the body from Habazin, who dipped her knees to vary her height effectively. Remember, 2-minute rounds in women's boxing, only 30 seconds remaining in this opening frame. Good parry with the right glove to ward off the left jab. Good defensive work from Natasha Jonas. Then she scored with a right jab, left cross straight to the sternum of Habazin. Habazin up on her toes, bobbing and weaving, trying to find her way as she crossed her feet, as she let the right cross go to the body. Didn't find a range as she flicked it out twice. And now the two boxers fencing with the lead hands once again. Terrific strong left cross driven into the body. Then a left hook out of the southpaw stance, followed by a ripping right hook to the body from Natasha Jonas, picking her punches very effectively before using that right glove to parry the left jab of Habazin. Good opening round from Jonas.
Very good last 20 or 30 seconds. I love the way she just set her feet there, let the left go, let the right uppercut go, let the left go again. She looks composed, but she does look serious. She's very intense. That can be draining, Ellie.
You can feel the pressure she probably took into the ring, but I feel like she's making her miss well with her feet, but I think she's got a counter because Ivana's missing, and she's missing when she's falling in with it, so I think she can
falling over almost.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like she's got to make her pay when she does make her miss double with the feet, because she's there in range.
She'll be able to bring up short uppercuts as she misses, or even catch her as she's twirling and with those big shots.
Yeah, especially when she jabs, she tends to dip to the right. I feel like she'll walk her into her backhand. So she's just got to let her hands go a bit more.
And Tash is smart, Ellie. Let's get it right.
She's working really well to the body. I feel like that's key, especially in female boxing, because sometimes gets neglected.
That was a smart 120 seconds, Ronald. A very smart 120 seconds.
The voices of 5 Live regular Steve Bunce and the reigning WBA, IBF and Ring Magazine Super Bantamweight Champion of the World, Ellie Scotney, bringing you live blow-by-blow commentary here on BBC Radio 5 Live World Championship Boxing in this unification bid between the IBF champion Natasha Jonas and her WBC counterpart Ivana Habazin of Croatia. Action is in centre ring at the start of this second round. Habazin, again, just trying to ward off the strong left cross fired into the body by Natasha Jonas. Beautiful counter left hand, catching the advancing Habazin. Timed wonderfully by Natasha Jonas, just employed the layback to cause her opponent to fall short, and then drove over the left cross, and then quarrying away muscularly to the body is Natasha Jonas. Palms turned to the ring lights and shoveling in punches just above the belt line of Ivana Habazin. Habazin backs off, backpedaling in clockwise fashion to her left, comes in looking rather crude and amateurish, considering that she's a reigning WBC champion, almost as though she got herself into range, but then was devoid of ideas as to what to do when she got there. Beautiful work to both body and head from Natasha Jonas, who is hauling in punches to the body magnificently. Then she fires in a straight right jab downstairs out of the southpaw stance, left hand upstairs straight down the pipe, and Habazin being beaten to the punch consistently here with 40 seconds remaining in the second round. The action is at centre ring. Habazin keeping her composure. She scores with the right cross to the body out of the orthodox stance, but then fighting like a tiger off the ropes with a 2-shot salvo of uppercuts to the body is Natasha Jonas. Both boxers now in the space of centre ring, directly beneath the logo of the Jumbotron, as the feinting continues just on the edge of range. Left jab was short as Habazin turned southpaw, and that could be risky, and straight away Natasha Jonas lands with a left cross followed by a right hook, and now Habazin back in the orthodox stance as a right-handed boxer, leading with a left foot and left glove. She flicks out a speculative left jab once again, but it's consistently short of the range. Beautiful patience and timing demonstrated by Natasha Jonas.
I thought Tasha hurt Habazin there to head and certainly hurt her to body. And she gave a really big tell, Ellie, when she was hit to the body. She literally rubbed her stomach, and they were good sinking body shots.
Especially when she was pushing Jonas back. Jonas picked them well, and it made her take a step back. But like you say, Jonas has a really good thing. When she lets her backhand go, she throws a long looping lead hook with it, and I feel like that's what rocked her a little bit in there, but downstairs is definitely playing a part.
And she's getting a little bit closer. She's letting her hands go a little bit more. Perhaps Tasha's not going to be content tonight with winning. Perhaps Tasha wants to make a statement. Perhaps she wants a shutout or even a late stoppage.
I think it's well possible with Jonas. She's very heavy-handed, but I just feel like she doesn't need to hold her feet just yet. Ivana's going to miss big, but the only chance of getting any success is overwhelming Jonas. So I don't think she needs to hold her feet just yet.
No, and she doesn't need to either. That's just me being wistful.
You're being greedy.
Yeah, I'm being greedy. Yeah, okay.
So it's a tardy exit by the coach of Ivana Habazin in this red corner, just to the right of our commentary position here ringside at the Exhibition Centre in Liverpool. Now the action resumes. Into round 3 we go, both boxers in centre ring. Ivana Habazin feinting with that lead left hand, but it's almost what Mickey Duff, the late great promoter, would call a don't hit me punch, because she's darting with it, but it appears to be no real intent behind it. And then when she does step into range, Natasha Jonas continuing to belt her away to the body in combination fashion, punches coming in beautifully from both flanks. Ivana Habazin with her back near the ropes just above our commentary position. Again, she walks through with that right foot as she lets a rather harmless looking right hand go, walking through to end up as a southpaw. And then again, the left-right combination coming by second-class post and easily evaded by Natasha Jonas. Then the heads came together forcefully between the southpaw and orthodox boxer. Referee Victor Laughlin separating the two at centre ring. And as the action resumed just beyond punching range, Natasha Jonas let go a hard left cross and right hook out of that southpaw stance. And Habazin, without wishing to sound unkind, with just over a minute gone, she's just appearing to be overwhelmed by the occasion and the accomplishments of Natasha Jonas, for my money, who scores with a beautiful thrusting right jab to the body, dipping at the knees and snapping it back to the on-guard position rapidly. Not her first fight in the UK, Habazin, who then did have a good shot of her own and then gets through with a right hand, and then the two women digging away just above the ropes next to our commentary position on the near side of the ring. Best success of the contest for Habazin as she dropped down to the body, but then two body shots without reply beneath the elbows, sunk in by Natasha Jonas. Closing 20 seconds of this third round. And Habazin, no stranger to fighting in the UK. Remember, she fought on the undercard of Maurizio Lara and Lee Wood, where she lost the unanimous points decision to Terry Harper, but just appearing a little bit overwhelmed before her best success of the round a few moments ago. It's Natasha Jonas ending the round on the front foot. Habazin showing signs of life, but another good round for Jonas.
A very good round for Jonas. Hefty shot, she's sinking in under the slow hands of Habazin. Habazin's got slow feet and slow hands. We know she's game, we know she's tough, and that's the debate here. What does she do, Ellie? Does Tasha try and put pressure on, or does she just do what she's doing now, which is hardly get hit with a shot and counter brilliantly with both hands?
I feel like she's got to emphasise on the body. She's hurt Habazin, and I think it's taking its toll a little bit. She's been a bit cautious when she's pouring the jab, and Jonas has got to keep the sharp movement, but I believe she can get her out of there, but I feel like downstairs is where she's having most effect, and by going downstairs you'll get the openings upstairs.
I'm watching the body language of the corner men with Habazin, and Habazin herself, she can barely look the guy in the eye. She's shaking her head, she's showing her right hand, maybe she's injured her right hand. He's not smiling, he doesn't look particularly happy. No one's smiling. The Croatians are not having a very good night here in Liverpool, that's for sure.
Well, once again, Victor Laughlin, he's called time and he's marched over to the blue corner and has read the right attack to Tina Habazin's coaches for the second round in succession. It was a tardy exit from the boxing ring, giving Habazin some 65 seconds or more to recover rather than the permitted 60. And on the resumption, it was a right jab, right hook out of the southpaw stance from Natasha Jonas, who is just controlling the distance beautifully at centre ring. Now she's moving counterclockwise to her right, giving Habazin angles, and Habazin just can't get her feet set to get her own punches into range. She's continuing to reach for the left jab, but it's not even being used as a rangefinder. What a right hook to end the combination! And now Natasha Jonas pouring it on after shaking Habazin down to her boots. Habazin desperately clings on, trying to buy some time to allow her head to clear, and then she tries to fashion another clinch. On the ropes over at the neutral corner near the far side of the ring. Terrific combination punching, finished by a howitzer of a hook from Natasha Jonas. Habazin gamely coming forwards, but her brow furrowed now. Adopting the cross-arm guard is Habazin, but her chin was checked thoroughly by a resounding hook from Natasha Jonas to conclude a cluster of punches. Now Natasha Jonas showing her experience, not being greedy, and is just seeking to get some room, allow her energy levels to recover because she put an awful lot into that burst of punches. Final 30 seconds of round number 4 when Natasha Jonas in complete control once again. Habazin beaten to the jab. Habazin threw a jab first, it was a left jab, but then a rapier-like right was cracked into her face like a riding crop. And now Habazin pinning Jonas to the ropes near the blue corner on this near side of the ring. She digs away to the body for a good portion of the round for her. But Natasha Jonas has enjoyed a terrific 4th round. But then Habazin showing signs of life, flashing left hook and overhand right as her feet were rather square, neither orthodox nor southpaw. But another strong round for the boxer from Liverpool.
And the big shot that hurt her was because Habazin had switched to southpaw. It's a really bad switch. She caught her there, she hurt her there, and she did go for it. It's a great shot, that right hand, Ellie. I thought that might have been it. I really did.
Like I mentioned, I think it was in round 2, I said Jonas has a tendency, every time she throws her backhand, she throws a lovely long looping right hook, and there you go, look, right on the button, and she had a rock to her boots there.
You know what? That's a cracking right hook. I'm not sure Habazin recovered until the last 20 seconds of that round. That's 4 clear rounds.
Because Habazin comes out tall as well when she throws out exchanges, so she got caught high and she took full effect of that shot. It was perfectly well timed. It's just Jonas let out a little bit more of her engine there, and that you just don't want to be a bit cautious.
Went into a shell the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, because I think she felt the pace of what she put out.
She may have been trapped on the ropes, but she wasn't getting hit with any shots. She was just trapped on the ropes.
So into the 5th round we go. Natasha Jonas fighting in her home city for the 8th time tonight. She has hinted that this may well be the final appearance on the banks of the Albert Docks. She's come out to begin this 5th round, moving counterclockwise to her right, away from the backhand of Habazin. Habazin again reaching with a left jab, but it's being battered down in a parrying fashion by Natasha Jonas, who had her back momentarily on the ropes on the far side of the ring, spun off, attempted a check right hook, but couldn't find the range. But Habazin, who... the boxer's identical in stature, but Habazin giving the impression of being perhaps a longer fighter. Haven't got their reaches available to us. And there she gets through with a good right hand and is looking for it once again. But then Natasha Jonas with her signature combination. 2 shots to the body, ending with a right hook to the head. Habazin momentarily on the ropes before walking her way back out to the space of centre ring. On top of the logo at centre ring, the 2 boxers engaging in a clinch. Victor Loughlin separating the 2 halfway through this 5th round. Beautiful counter left hand again out of the southpaw stance from Natasha Jonas after Habazin threw a rather languid lead left jab. Jonas avoided it and then came back with a beautiful backhand to score. Oh, beautiful work to the body and then a right uppercut to the head. The exhalations of Natasha Jonas audible from our ringside commentary position here on 5 Live. You heard her as she went down to the body and ended that 3-shot salvo with a right uppercut. And Habazin is being pieced up efficiently here by Natasha Jonas. Exchange of right hands, a right hook from Jonas, a backhand from Habazin. Biggest exchange of the contest, but then it was the final word coming from Natasha Jonas, who let go a right hand which landed once again. And now it's Jonas just backing up, uncalls a right hand to the body, and Habazin coming forward in determined fashion, planting her feet into the canvas and letting some big punches go. 10-second clapper sounds, closing stages of round number 5, as Habazin marauding forwards once again, digging away 3 right hands against the southpaw Natasha Jonas. Final left jab is parried by the right glove of Jonas. Let's head over to the red corner and listening to the instructions of Joe Gallagher, the former Ring Magazine Trainer of the Year.
Yeah, I'd give it that round. Only because she was a little bit bitter. You didn't really do anything. You stayed there and got caught a little bit. Okay. But remember your ring positioning where you are. As you came over there, you were parallel to the ropes. That step across, and she would have been in her own corner, and you could have stepped in, all right? Control your breathing, all right?
Yeah, good advice there from Joe. I think you recognise that was Hamazin's best round. I still didn't think she won it, but it was her best round. But you know, we can't do sympathy votes. We can't do mercy votes because someone got bashed up less than she had in the previous 4 rounds. For God's sake, sensible advice there. Move your feet. Move your feet.
Yeah, I think a lot of that as well is because what Jonas did put into the round for previous, because she did have her hurt and she did let her hands go. So, you know, that was a round she probably took off a little bit, but I still believe she won the round.
So do I, quite clearly.
Into the second half of this world title unification bout we go. 5 rounds completed, a potential 5 rounds remain as Natasha Jonas, oh, what a left uppercut, right hook, but then Habazin wears it well, marauds her way forwards, pins Jonas on the ropes, and again helps herself to a free shot. Natasha Jonas leaving herself in a dangerous position, bending over after accepting the clinch, and she was just there as a target practice dummy for a right uppercut. Habazin helped herself with a right hook to the body, which she was perfectly entitled to do, and referee Victor Laughlin, after that strange interlude, saying, listen, don't look to me to help you. In this boxing ring, you've got 2 friends, your left and your right. I suggest you use them. That strange interlude has now passed. We're approaching the halfway stage of this 6th round. Natasha Jonas, hands held high, standing on top of the logo at centre ring. Habazin switching forwards with that right hand again. Didn't find a range with the shot. And on the switch, remember, that's where she was caught by that heavy right hook in the 4th round. Wasn't made to pay on that occasion. Left hand down the pipe, right hook to the body, followed by a 2-shot combination upstairs from Natasha Jonas. Beautiful 4-punch combination from Jonas through that passage of the round. Habazin walks her way forwards once again and is looking to make it physical at close range. Remember, both boxers comfortably inside the 10 stone 7 welterweight limit, both of them weighing in at an identical 10 stone 6, each of them 5 feet 8 inches tall. But Natasha Jonas spears out a right jab which scores. Habazin walking forwards with seeming disregard for the punches once again. She's breathing through a mouth that's open. Her defense is looking rather porous because she's waving that left hand around rather aimlessly. Now it's back up in the on-guard position. Counter left hand attempted by Jonas, but it was rather languid compared to the rapier, razor-sharp shots she's been throwing from that backhand before. Again, Natasha Jonas accepting the clinch and ended up bended over. But then on the resumption, a sharp 1-2 combination, southpaw right, left cross. And Habazin willing her way into this, but Jonas still in a commanding position.
Habazan's winning the clinches, Habazan's winning any of the pushing, the tussling, and the strength, the strong stuff, but she's not winning the fight. She's strong, she's tough, she's game, and she can push Tasha around a little bit, but it's still Jonas's fight with clear shots.
It's still Jonas's fight, but I feel like Habazin's doing the right thing. She's got to make Jonas feel, you know, we keep saying about her age, she's got to make her feel her in that, and I feel like setting a high pace, a high guard, and just hitting whatever you see, because she's not very accurate, is she, Habazin? But I feel like if she can get Jonas to the ropes and just let her hands go, that will make Jonas feel the pace and slow her feet down. That's the only chance
and she doesn't need to be accurate, she just needs to get there and cuff away.
And she's got to make it ugly.
Because if she makes it ugly, that means Tasha's not working. It means that she is working, she is clipping. So I think we might be in for a bit of a run-in on these last 4 or 5 rounds. We really might be.
Into round 7 we go. Remember, it's scheduled for 10-2s in women's boxing. Unification fight in the welterweight division. Natasha Jonas defending the IBF title that she defended in such spirited fashion last time out right here in Liverpool against Michaela Mayer. As for Ivana Habazin, fighting in the UK for the 2nd time as she wills her way forwards once again. And then there's another untidy clinch on the inside. Beautiful right hook to the body from Natasha Jonas, but then walking through it and claiming her woman and digging away with crude street fighting blows on the inside is Ivana Habazin. But the right hook to the body from Natasha Jonas was sumptuous. Swayed over to her right, dipped at the knees, turned her palms upwards and got maximum leverage onto that shot. Here's that same shot in evidence once again. Body hunting is Natasha Jonas. Left uppercut ripping through the middle. Right hand to the ribcage, but Habazin continuing to crowd Natasha Jonas, practically living in her chest, not giving her any room to breathe, and holding her around the back with the left hand while digging away with the body to the body with the right. She's seeking to make this physical. She's seeking to make this ugly, because in terms of sheer boxing skill for the first 5 rounds, Natasha Jonas proved that she was the boss in that department as Habazin swarms her way forwards once again. Heads banging together at the temples on the inside as Habazin seeking to turn this one physical, but Natasha Jonas showing beautiful skill once again. Body punches punctuated by a right uppercut before dropping back down to the body and shoveling in more punches just above the red belt line of Habazin's short. But Habazin cutting a really determined figure here now after looking somewhat forlorn in the first half of the fight, swarming her way forwards almost with contemptuous disregard for the punches and seeking to get her own offense away. She's got Natasha Jonas pinned on the ropes momentarily near the blue corner over on the far side of the ring. Jonas intelligently spins off the strands, claims her woman, and as the 10-second clapper sounded during that interlude when the two boxers were fastened in a clinch. That's how the round ended, with the two boxers with their arms entwined. And this one taking on a hard attritional quality now.
Taking its toll on both of the fighters. You can see Tasha over there. Not that she's gone back to the corner smiling in front of Joe Gallagher, but she looks and she knows she's been in a fight, and as does Habazin. Natasha's in front, but the last 3 rounds have been harder, tighter and closer.
Exactly that. I think you see that elements in the Mayer fight. Jonas had a sharp start, and then towards the end her feet slowed down, and Habazin, although she's taken a lot of punishment getting in, but I just feel like she's going to be a lot, not safer, but more chance of a little bit more success being closer and making it grueling, making it ugly.
Habazin also needs to throw some punches at it. I mean, there's a lot of mauling, there's a lot of half clips, there's a lot of throwing the left hand when she's already on Tasha's chest, as Ronald alluded to. So she needs to still find a little bit of space.
She's got to hit anything she sees.
Absolutely.
She's not very accurate, but it will tire Jonas's gas tank.
Anything above the belt line.
So into the 8th round we go then. Ivana Habazin, 5 losses on her 28-fight ledger, including against Claressa Shields, Terry Harper and Cecilia Brækhus. That is the caliber of boxer you need to be to get the better of the reigning WBC welterweight champion. She's surely trailing in this contest as again beautiful body snatching demonstrated by Natasha Jonas, and then a rapier 1-2 right-left combination straight down the pipe as Natasha Jonas seeking to maintain control of the distance and the gap once again. Habazin now having to think about getting her way back in because Natasha Jonas had been sharp shooting with straights, drops down to the body, left-right combination, tried to end with a right hook, but that was blocked by the freewheeling semaphore arms of Habazin to ward that punch off. Referee Victor Loughlin separates the two. Big swing and a miss with the left hook from Habazin. She did get altogether closer with the right cross that followed, but she's having to think her way in now because Natasha Jonas looks switched on and is looking to maintain a gap between herself and her marauding opponents. Beautiful left hand sunk into the body by Natasha Jonas, but then Habazin pulls her back to the ropes and is looking to dig away with nudging shots beneath the elbows of Miss GB. Referee Victor Loughlin separates the two and gets them back to the space of centre ring. Habazin has turned southpaw. She fires out a speculative right jab, but that was fired from another neighbourhood and didn't come close to landing. Now she's back as an orthodox boxer. 30 seconds remaining in round number 8. Natasha Jonas just managing the distance beautifully by employing good feet, but she's backed up in a straight line to the ropes. Habazin did get through with a right hand to the body, but then again, the exhalations of Jonas audible as she turned her palms upwards and slung in 2 beautiful punches to the body. 3-shot combination ended by a right hook to the body from Jonas, and she's really efficient and precise during this round, particularly with her body work, which has been nothing short of sensational. Habazin crosses her feet as she fires out a right hand to make it a southpaw right jab once again, but once more it was short of the mark, but real efficiency in that 8th round from Jonas, particularly with her body work.
Smart boxing, smart thinking. When she was backed up, she had to let her hands go, and she did. And I don't think Habazin took enough advantage of Tasha clearly taking what was effectively a round off.
Exactly that. Any momentum that Habazin thought she was gaining on the previous round, I think Jonas really sucked it out of her by not taking too much out of herself there, and it was really smart. She picked some lovely body shots, and Habazin felt the work of that. You can see someone in there. She's running out of ideas. She's changing southpaw, and that's just kind of to find ways. I think she's going to get in, but she's beaten in there.
And all Tash did was just move her feet a little bit more, just a little bit more, and not let her hands go until she was either hit the ropes or she knew that she had to let her hands go.
Not get greedy and punch for the sake of it.
Not get greedy. You know what? I'm thinking back to that 4th round, that great big 4th round she had. That took a lot out of her, that 30-second burst. Took an awful lot out of her. Home stretch, Ronald, home stretch.
We move into round number 9. Both boxers were up off their stall early to answer the bell. And there's a gap between the two boxers once again, broken by Natasha Jonas with beautiful use of the feet to fire out a right jab, which was a rangefinder, and then she scored with a sumptuous right cross to the body. Beautiful right hook downstairs. It's an exchange where Jonas got the better of it, principally with her body punching, but Habazin checking the chin of Natasha Jonas with a right-left success of her own. And now she drives Natasha Jonas back to the neutral corner turnbuckle on this near side of the ring and is letting her hands go, hitting wherever she may. Shoulder, head, just above the belt line. Good portion of the round for Habazin. Now the action back at centre ring after the intervention of referee Victor Loughlin, and it's Natasha Jonas threatening over the front foot. Let's go a right jab, but it was short of the mark. Habazin looking to used that left hand like a pendulum, dangling it in front of her belt line, and now she puts it up by her temple, walks her way across the ring once again, so she ends up as a southpaw when she lets the right hand go. Beautiful work on the inside from Jonas. My goodness, that is exceptional. Digging in, bent arm hooks at short and mid-range as she was being pushed backwards by Habazin. And now Habazin just a little less keen to step into punching range because she was made to pay a heavy toll in the form of those body shots from Miss GB. And now a headlock fashion by Habazin, putting the head of Natasha Jonas beneath the right armpit. On the disengagement, Jonas shaped to throw the left cross but didn't pull the trigger. Final 30 seconds of this penultimate round. Good work on the inside, and momentarily Jonas finding herself in a rather compromised position once again, but recovered quickly to score effectively to the body of the Croatian WBC champion. And now it's Jonas on the front foot. Habazin responds with a good right hook to the body, which lands beneath the left elbow of Jonas. Jonas scoring with a right hook to both body and head after she doubled it up. Habazin ends the round with a left-right combination. She is one game individual, the WBC champion from Croatia.
That was a hard round for both of them there. That was... Tasha worked out, I think, Elliot, that she couldn't move. The Habazin was getting close, but again, once again, Habazin got a bit close. Still doesn't mean if the woman's on top of you or the fighter's on top of you and he or she's man-handling you or woman-handling you, whatever expression you want to use, that's hard. That was hard for Tasha. You can see Tasha's struggling with that bolt.
Exactly, it was a physicality in there, and I just felt like Jonas picked the right shots at the right moment. She had to hold her feet, and we're heading into the last round now, but she's well in front, and it's just about, you know, not getting carried away with the crowd and taking silly risks here.
Yeah, she's 2 minutes away from us announcing officially a massive fight next March at an iconic venue in London.
Are you going to give it away yet?
No, I might do it at the end. Nice and sensible, Tasha, would be what I would say if I was Joe Gallagher. Nice and sensible.
So referee Victor Laughlin invites both boxers to centre ring with a sporting touch of gloves to begin the 10th and final round in this world title unification bid. Natasha Jonas, the reigning IBF champion, seemingly 2 minutes away from becoming the unified champion, but of course, that's a good left hand landed by Habazin, and then the right hand which followed it, which wasn't too far wide of the mark. And as long as your opponent is on their feet, they remain a dangerous threat. Habazin must be trailing on the scorecards. If we go to the judges, it is Mark Lyson, Zvonko Ravonka, and Marco Marzuoli, whose decisions will declare the victor of this unification title tilt. But surely it must be Natasha Jonas, who scores with a piercing right jab followed by a stiff, strong left cross. Check right hook attempted by Jonas out of the southpaw stance in a bid to pick off the advancing Habazin. Habazin, as game as they come, but for my money, she's been outboxed for large portions of this contest, particularly in the first 4 rounds of the bout. Thereafter, she sought to make it more physical, swarmed her way forwards, and made Natasha Jonas work to get her own punches away, but there she scores with a left cross once again, does Natasha Jonas, and that is why the fans dial up the decibel level in acknowledgement of that beautiful point scoring shot that she landed. Habazin back into the breach as she looks to work her way to both head and body, but wonderful punch picking from Natasha Jonas, who with a sidestep and one backward step giving her opponent angles so that Habazin swinging at thin air while Jonas is continuing to piece up her opponent with both lefts and rights. Sumptuous punch picking on the inside again, with Natasha Jonas remaining defensively responsible to avoid the incoming fire. And it's another fantastic right hook landed, drawing an exchange by Natasha Jonas. Habazin really has gone for it in this round, but while she has been made to miss, Natasha Jonas has kept her cool under fire and found a home for her punches to make them pay. And as the bell sounds, the two boxers share a warm embrace, but Natasha Jonas climbing the ropes on this near side of the ring and raising her left arm to the rafters in anticipation of victory. Now she's met by trainer Joe Gallagher, who steps inside the ropes to remove the mouthpiece and gives her a congratulatory pat on the shoulder, because Joe Gallagher and Natasha Jonas know that she has done enough to claim Ivana Habazin's WBC title and become a unified world champion at a second different weight as a professional, emulating the accomplishment that she achieved at super welterweight. Of course, we've got to make it official, but that Probably a performance of two halves for Natasha Jonas, because in the first 4 rounds she was scintillating, and then it began to get hard and physical and attritional, but her boxing skills were always on another level to those of Habazin. She was efficient, she was precise, and the skills that she demonstrated were delightful to behold in a hard-fought physical contest. Surely Natasha Jonas has just become a unified champion at 147.
Which would mean that she's won her 5th different world title belt now at 2 weights. I thought there were moments there that she was flawless the first 4 rounds. Some of those harder, grubbier, grueling rounds, she still kept composed. In fact, I don't think she once lost her composure in that fight, Ellie, even when she was being pushed around.
No, do you know, we had the question mark, she's turned 40 now, is she still got it, her leg's still there, but I think that was one of her best performances, and she shut us all up, that's for sure.
She did shut us all up. In fact,
I don't know how she does it, every time, just, it's amazing.
She's got great genes, it's as simple as that. No,
you ain't got them, have you?
No, I want a bit of them. I'll ask if she'll sell me some of them, because she's just casually... She's just casually doing
Benjamin
these
Button.
fights. Benji Button of the women's boxing.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 full championship rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for the official decision. Judge Zivanko Rukavina sees it 99-92. Judge Marco Marzuoli sees it 99-91. And Judge Mark Lyson sees it 100-90. Declaring your winner by unanimous decision, and now the unified IBF and WBC welterweight champion of the world, Natasha Jonas!
The fans here at the Exhibition Centre in Liverpool pumping up the volume at the announcement of a unanimous point decision victory for Natasha Jonas. A shutout on Mark Lyson's scorecard, 100-90. Zvonko Rukavina had it 99-92 and Marco Marzuoli 99-91. A comprehensive margin of victory on all 3 scorecards for Natasha Jonas, who has claimed Ivana Habazin's WBC welterweight strap, adding to the IBF title that she brought into the ring. She is now a unified world champion at her 2nd weight division as a professional, and the mouth-watering clash between her and fellow unified champion Lauren Price now becomes a distinct possibility, if not probability. A beautiful performance over the championship distance by Natasha Jonas, who maintains a fantastic record here in Liverpool and is now a unified world champion after a fantastic display of boxing.
You know what, Ronald, there were moments there, as we said, it was close to flawless, and I agree with Mark Lyson. There were 4 tight rounds, but she still won them. We don't do mercy votes, we don't do sympathy votes. I thought Tasha won every single round there, 3 or 4 were closer. And lurking at ringside here with a Sky microphone is Lauren Price. In the ring, soon to get a Sky microphone, will be Natasha Jonas. Hopefully they'll give us not just the date but the location, because I'm so desperate to tell you the location, Ronald. I'm so desperate, but I'm sworn to secrecy. If they don't give the location tonight, I don't know how I'm going to get through the next 3 or 4 or 5 or 7 weeks. Elliot, it's going to be hell. Top performance, that's what champions do.
I thought that was a special performance, especially because the amount of pressure that was on her going into that. And look, she just added another WBC to her collection, and she's doing it for fun now, isn't she?
She's making it look like she's doing it for fun, Ronald. Let's get that absolutely right. She's making it look like she's doing it for fun. She's barely got a mark, a little signature graze under one of her eyes. You know, if you took her heart rate now, she's a supreme athlete. We know she played a bit of football. She was decent at it. She could have played just about anything, on my understanding, sport-wise. That was quality. That I really enjoyed it.
Well, after the hellfire that she had to come through to prevail against Michaela Mayer at the Echo Arena just next door at the start of the year, this an altogether more comfortable victory for Natasha Jonas. Ivana Habazin came in with that WBC strap and plenty of ambition, saying that she felt disrespected for all of the pre-fight talk which pitted Natasha Jonas against Lauren Price, even though both of them had their own respective World Championship defenses tonight. But Natasha Jonas has proved as good as the pre-fight talk by boxing beautifully over the course of the 10 2-minute rounds, cruising her way, if that's possible in a world title fight, but comfortably boxing her way to a unanimous point decision win.
It'll be interesting when I speak to her later on. So I'm intrigued to find out because she's honest, whether she tells us that there was pressure. Because when as I spotted Ellie when she walked out, that's why I stood up and turned around, is that she absolutely had eyes on the ring only, and there were people smiling along, and what I call that's the sort of baby kissing run where you're kissing babies on the head. She did none of that. She was straight to the ring. She didn't raise either of her hands to acknowledge anyone's clenched fist, and I like that. And as we said all the way through, she's smiling now suddenly. I think there was pressure. You kept talking about it. I think there was.
Yeah, I felt like you just sensed something in a fighter.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you recognise it as a fighter yourself, but something felt different about her appearance, even the way she did her ring walk. Unless, she knows this is our last fight in Liverpool. I know you're not giving the location away, all right?
No, I'm not giving the other location away.
I think she savours those moments, and she's someone that's rode the ride for female boxing, and the journey she's been on, and she's still adding to the history books. She's an incredible human, and I feel like she soaked her moment up, and she knew this was her last time she was returning home.
That's a good line, that, Ronald. She's adding to the history book. So what do we go with Natasha Jonas? All those tournaments around the world, the first British woman to ever box at an Olympic Games.
Like a set of yellow pages, I reckon.
Oh, yeah, exactly, yeah. All of those world title fights. She's only had 19 or 20 fights now. We've got all of those world title fights, 4 different weights, a draw, and then she lost to Katie Taylor by a point and 1 point and 2 points. Unbelievably close. If she wins an extra round in the Terry Harper fight or the Katie Taylor fight, she might have been winning tonight. I can't even do the sums. About her 12th world title at 4 different weights. Slender, tiny, 2-minute margins. That's how good Natasha Jonas is.
And such are the fine margins in elite sport in general and the sport of boxing in particular. And what Natasha Jonas has demonstrated is not only an elite level of accomplishment, but the persistence which all athletes have to have, because it's not all sunshine and roses, Ellie. Things do get difficult even when you are as accomplished as Natasha Jonas. There are dark days, as she experienced when she lost unexpectedly earlier on in her career against Viviane Obenhoff at the Ice Arena in Cardiff in Wales, but she overcame that setback, returned to the ring after stepping away to start a family, and here she is reaping the rewards of her patience, her persistence and her considerable ability. And now, well, I think they're bringing the 2 champions together, and we're about to get the announcement of that collision course unification fight. But again, testament to the patience and persistence of Natasha Jonas, the fruits that she has earned late on in her career.
You couldn't sum up her career with a few words. You really couldn't. The journey she's been on ups and downs. Even being as a champion, she's had a frustrating wait to come back into the ring, and she would have held that in knowing she's racing against time, but she didn't let that affect her performance, and she didn't let that take away from her night. And let's be honest, she made tonight Natasha Jonas's night.
She most certainly did, and she pushed a fellow world champion to the periphery of the contest. Wide margins of victory returned from all 3 scoring judges, and that a fair reflection of what transpired over the course of the 10 2-minute championship rounds. Well, Steve Bunt has turned into roving reporter. He has left our ringside commentary position. He is standing up on the ring apron, looking very trendy indeed, I hasten to add, in a scarf and a flannel shirt of the lumberjack variety.
It's a wool shirt, not flannel.
Oh, excuse me, I stand corrected.
It's a Pendleton, brother, it's a Pendleton. I'll give you the history in a moment.
But looking very sharp as he awaits the rival of the fellow champions. And again, both Steve and I have covered both of these boxers since they were wearing the vest and head guard in the 3-round amateur code. And now they are on a collision course, which we are about to confirm here on BBC 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Lauren Price just making her way over to Steve Bunt, so Steve can grab a word
Lauren, can I get you for a second
with her. It's over to Steve.
I've got Lauren. First of all, delighted you won earlier. Delighted Tasha won. Let's get it on. What are we in March? I know you probably can't give away very much. Give away all that you can.
Yeah, I can't give away too much. I've been told, yeah, obviously it's early next year. And that's it really, If it was down to me, we would have been fighting here tonight. But she doesn't want to fight, and I get it. And, I'm in my prime. She's coming towards the end of her career. I respect her. But I believe, I win that fight.
Do you think that she might not fight you next year when you say it like that?
Who knows? Who knows?
One second. Joe. Tasha's left the ring. I wonder if we can get her back somehow. I wonder if we can get... what's going on here? Sorry, Lauren. I was trying to get the two of you together, not for confrontation, but just to ask questions. I was talking earlier on to some people that were talking about how important it is for British boxing that you two fight, but that person wasn't convinced either. I just wonder what makes you say that.
Yeah, obviously, I just think like it's a great British fight, isn't it? But you know, it's what the fans want to see, and I want to be in big fights. And you know, if you like, we're both world champions, we both got belts, and it makes for a great fight, and that's it, really.
You were exceptional tonight. You took care of an opponent that was tough and rough, and you just didn't put a foot wrong. You were really, and people are going to say, oh, she was overmatched. It doesn't matter. You finished it with brilliant shots, absolutely brilliant shots. Listen, Lauren, it's been an absolute pleasure covering you tonight. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
So that's Lauren Price, who was, well, I was hoping to get the two of them together, but it looks like I'm going to have to leave the ring and see if I can't get to Tasha this way. I think I might be getting closer. Sorry?
Don't ask about Lauren Price.
Okay.
So Steve Bunch in a melee, making his way over to...
And it is Ed. Can I get her? I'm just going to grab her here. I'm only going to grab her for a couple of seconds. So I'll walk this way. I will get her eventually. I'll get her this way. Don't worry, Ronald. I've nearly got her. She's just kissing half a dozen different people. Once she's finished kissing people, we can have a chat with her. And we will have a chat with her. That's 7 people, 8 people, 9 people, all friends and family. 9, 10, 11, 12 people she's kissing. She's got 4. She's got 4 more left, and then it could be my turn.
This sounds great on radio.
You know what I said that she's just kissed 11 people. Now it's the 12th one. Oh, well done.
I hope they ain't all frogs.
Mark Lyson was absolutely right. That was perfect. You know, I thought you won every single round. 3 or 4 rounds were a little bit tighter than the first 4 rounds. And you did think you had her in the 4th round, didn't you? Because you really went for it, didn't you?
No, I know. And Joe said like she's recovered, and I got what he meant, because sometimes you can be over eager, think you've got them. You either punch yourself out for the next 2 rounds, or you can get caught with the silly shock because you're so eager. So I just shouted reset, and that's what I did. Finally, I listened. He was happy that I listened.
You don't do silly shit. I've got to tell you, when you walked in, you absolute tunnel vision on the ring. You weren't slapping hands with anybody. You weren't blowing kisses at anybody. You weren't acknowledging anybody. You looked, and I'm with Ellie Scotney doing the 5 Live, and Ellie and I both thought that you looked about as serious, if not more serious, than we've ever seen you before.
Yeah, no, you know, there's things I've been working on with the psychologist is just be alert, be focused, and that's when the best Tasha is. And I wanted to come in the ring showing that, doing that, and yeah, just doing that.
Because in all fairness, Tash, you know, you're under pressure when you fight. I know it's lovely because you've got the fans, but you are under pressure here when you fight here, and there is a lot of expectation, you know, on your shoulders. And you're just Tasha Jonas at the end of the day. You're just Tasha Jonas who walked into a gym to lose a bit of weight 20 years ago.
There's a difference between Tasha Jonas and Miss GB. Miss GB's in the ring and Tasha Jonas is outside. But yeah, I just take every fight as another fight. I don't try and get involved in the occasion. That's when, you know, you can let the anxiety and let the anxiousness creep in and negative thoughts. And I just stay positive. It's just another fight and always play it down.
And what about going forward, Tash? What are we looking at? I'm going to be careful what I say. I don't want to upset people. It's not my game to upset people. I'm too long in the tooth for that. What are we looking at going forward? What would you ideally like?
I mean, my perfect thing would be, you know, a Michaela Meyer rematch and a Katie Taylor. But I think Ben and Lauren have other ideas, so we have to go and do what we need to do, handle that business. Like I say, just another fight, and then I can move on freely and do whatever I want to do after that. And
we're all big boys and girls. We can sit down in rooms and you guys can discuss where we go from here. So it could in theory be Lauren who was in the ring, and it could be in theory Katie Taylor or Michaela Meyer again. Because Michaela Meyer would be a big fight, fun fight.
I'm just looking to have a good Christmas. That's all I'm doing. Me and the baby.
Well, that's exactly what I want to say. I don't want to talk about things that are going to upset you. I want to talk about Christmas and sleigh rides and stuff like that, don't I?
Yeah, no, I think Winter Wonderland, may even go to Saudi to watch Mo in our gym, and go and support Tyson as well while we're there.
So if I don't see you next week in Saudi, have a great Christmas. It's been an odd year for you, but you've had 2 flawless performances, and I tell you what, they love you up here, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, like I said in the ring, I'm proud to be Scouse. I'm proud of everything that the city's supported me from day one until afterwards.
And let's hope you're out in March or April, not in 11 months' time.
Yes, it can't be another 11 months.
Go kiss some more people, they're queuing up behind me.
I know, it's the best action I've had all year.
That's classic. See you later. Thank you very much indeed, Tasha. The best action she's had all year, Ronald. That's what you call a slaying line. That's a knockout line if ever I've heard it.
Indeed,
yeah. That's a beauty of a line.
So Natasha Jonas continuing to engage with the well-wishers here at the Exhibition Centre in Liverpool at the conclusion of a magnificent evening of boxing here on BBC Radio 5 Live. And Ellie Scotney, your closing thoughts after that performance from your fellow world champion?
Do you know what? I felt like that was one of her career best performance in itself, just with the pressure that was on it. She was coming in against another champion, and no one really gave the girl the respect, but they was dangling the carrot of Lauren, and she come out here and she showed everyone she is Miss GB and she is a world champion for a reason, and that sets up whether we might not see the Lauren fight as much as they've teased it. We might see the Katie Taylor run it back, or even a Michaela Mayer, but I just feel like she come here and she made sure the final chapter in Liverpool was a special one, and one she finished on a high note.
Options abound for Natasha Jonas after that terrific performance here at the Exhibition Centre, and if this is a last dance in Liverpool for Natasha Jonas, she has delivered a masterclass to become a unified world champion at 147 pounds. So on behalf of Steve Bunce, Ellie Scotney, Patrick Whiteside and Manveer Ryan, the entire team here at the Exhibition Centre, Steve Nolan is up next after the latest 5 Live news here on the BBC. Bye for now.